Hey guys, well there's a new package that arrived today, and so let's unbox it and see what we've got. Let's go take a closer look. It's a box full of styrofoam. Just kidding. So we got packing in here. Get all this mess out. For those of you who are not seen anything like this before, this is a 20-watt fiber laser. This is a galvo laser. Let's get it all unpacked here. Now this is a split unit, so you can see that it's permanently attached to this bottom portion here. Let's see if I can get all this. Tool bag, cables, measuring tape. We'll take a closer look at that in a minute. Let's get this out. The meat of it. This is the main unit here. Alright, so I'm going to throw all this packing material back in here. There's nothing else left in here. It's a pretty sturdy crate that they packed it in, so we're going to use that as a temporary stand. Guys, now that I've got this uncrated here, let me get it assembled and we'll take a good look at it, and we'll talk more about this new laser. So before I mount this column here, I noticed this screw here is loose. I'm just going to double check all these and tighten this one up because it's sticking down just slightly below the base here. This screw here was just floating in the packaging, so it's the same size as these, but I have yet to determine where it comes from. Oh, and here we go. Looks like this one's missing right here. So guess it just wasn't tightened up at the factory. I'm just going to double check all these, make sure they're all secure and tight. These screws here are M8 that hold the laser column to the base. Alright, I've got the head unboxed here, and it's got these nutserts in here in this channel to kind of lock it in. What I've done is I've spaced these out with these grooves here, and I'm just going to slide it on there and bolt it on, and then we'll get it adjusted. The laser needs to be pointing at the center of our work area. So let me get that mounted and we'll go through and make that adjustment. We still need to make some adjustments. I had this nice bubble wrap cover for the laser, and inside was a USB drive with the software. So we'll get that loaded. Alright, so this is the Monport laser. Control box down here. This is the 20-watt laser. This is a galvo scanner fiber laser. But we have our scanner with the lens cover here. and it has a couple of aimers here. These are like laser aimers we can adjust. We'll get into that later. This has movement in and out as well as front and back, and we'll get that centered up on our work area here. This is permanently connected again to the control box. So we have some control buttons on the front. We have to turn on our main board, our scanner switch, and then our laser. Has connections in the back for, of course, we have our USB plug to go to our computer. Then we have a foot pedal, our ground wire, a rotary, which I will have coming. I did order it with this laser, and it will be coming. It was on back order, and this is for our main connection. Power. Alright, well, we're going to have to find a permanent spot for this laser here. You can see I'm kind of crowded. I got projects here, trying to finish up this linear rail conversion. I've got my lathe over here, and you know, I just kind of threw this in the corner because that's the only spot I've really got for it at the moment. I'm going to have to either get some kind of, maybe some kind of little metal cart or plastic cart to put this on. So we've got this tool bag. So what we've got in here. Foot switch. I'm guessing this is to start the cycle. We've got a, looks like a monitor stand that mounts to the side of the column here. I don't think I'll be using that, probably just be using my laptop, but it does come with it. Power cord with an aviation plug here. It's set up for 110 volts. A pair of protective eyewear. Nice case. Standard, you know, economical glasses here. They're green, so that's nice. Some Allen wrenches, a measuring tape, I guess to help you set your focal length. It is in metric. Some bolts here, I guess to mount your monitor stand over here on the column. It gets mounted right here. There's a couple of mounting holes, so you can mount it right there. And a locking handle. Let's see where this goes. Maybe right here. Alright guys, so the cart finally arrived and I got that assembled. It's just your standard tool cart. It was like $57 or something. I'll post a link in the video description if anybody's interested in one of these tool carts. So this is the Monport 20W fiber laser. It is a Raycus power source, which is a very popular medium fiber power source. There's the Chinese Max. Of course, I'm sure they're all Chinese. Then there's the Raycus, and then there's IGT, I think. And it's supposed to be the top-notch power source. But this one is good for 10,000 hours or something like that. It has a nice case. Now this is what they refer to as a split unit because it's two pieces and it's connected all the time by this umbilical cord. So this is permanently connected. There are one-piece units where it's in a cabinet, and they're a little bit more expensive. But so this Monport 20W laser, I've had a few days to mess around with it, and it does a really good job. It does come with a f210 lens, which gives you a 150 millimeter by 150 millimeter square, which is about 5.5 inches, 6 inches, which is is kind of large for a 20-watt laser. And once you get into this, you'll learn, as I'm still learning, but you can buy these different lenses, which I've bought. I have some currently on order. And as you go down in focal distance, the smaller and smaller the footprint you get, you multiply the power that your laser has. So for me, 5.5 by 5.5 is quite large. I'm just going to be marking, 2 inches by maybe 3 by 3 at the max. So I wanted to get some different lenses. This cart, like I said, it's a pretty good little cart, and it fits the laser perfect. That way I can just kind of move it around. I'm kind of limited in space, so having the laser on a cart just makes a lot of sense for me. As I showed you earlier, it comes with this monitor mount that's supposed to mount here on the laser. So I've modified that and turned it into a laptop stand, and then we can just kind of push it out of the way here and bring it up when we need it and put our laptop on there. Just screwed a piece of wood on there. It turned out really good. I've put some spacers underneath the platform here to kind of raise it up off the bottom of the cart here. And yeah, I've just been playing around. Let's power this thing on, and we'll just give a sample of what this little laser can do. Alright, so I've got the laptop hooked up to the laser, and this is just EasyCAD Lite. This is the software that came with the laser. As I'm getting more involved with this and learning more about the laser, it seems that Lightburn seems to be the preferred software. But this is free software, and it comes with the laser, so that's what we're going to be using for this little demonstration today. So I've got the laser all connected, everything's hooked up. I've saw several videos out there. There's really a wealth of information about these lasers and EasyCAD. A couple that I really looked at was Jeffrey J. He's got a lot of great little videos on this laser, and also Laser Everything. I'll try to post the links in the video description. Both of those are really good. Laser Everything, he talked about having a little tool that you could use, a gauge if you will, to set the focal length. He goes all through setting up the focal distance for your laser. It's not really that difficult. You can follow along in his videos. I also want to point out that you can pick up these little business cards. These are aluminum business cards. They have black, gold, silver, and you can pick these up off eBay for little to nothing, and they're really good to just kind of practice with. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. And then of course I use my little gauge block here to set the focal length or the distance here. It says f210, and in theory that's what the distance is supposed to be, but mine's about 238. I made this little gauge block. Now I just 3D printed this, and I've marked what lens it is. It's the 150 by 150, and the focal height is 238, so I know. And as I get different lenses, I will make different sticks here, or gauge. So we're just going to do some simple engraving. Now when I power on the laser, the actual power source, it gets really loud, so you probably won't be able to hear anything that I say. But we're just going to simply, over here, I'm just going to do some text. So I click on the text here, put it right there, and then I'm just going to do CNC for XR7. We've got the height set at a little over 9 millimeters. Let's just make it 10 millimeters here. We're going to hit, we're going to hatch it. Let's see, they've got it set for Tacoma. Pick your whatever font you want, and we're going to hatch it. You have to play around with these hatch settings, but We'll just use this one here, and we've got it set for 0.006 millimeters. Probably can set that to 0.01 millimeter. Let's play 90-degree angle, so it's going to be hatching this direction. Let's hit OK, and you can see that it's hatched our text here. We'll hit apply, and if you hit Shift C, it centers it up on the material there. So now we can go ahead and just hit this red F1 button here, and you can see that it shows you where it's going to be putting the text. If we want to make it a little bit bigger, let's just make it bigger. Hit Control and drag it, and then Shift C again, and then let's look at it and see what it looks like. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay. So for the pen color over here, I unchecked the Use Default, and then we're going to set it up for the speed at 100. Well, let's do speed at 300, 50% power, and 20 kilohertz. Alright, and let's just see what that does. I've been playing around with different... Jeffrey J is a good source for this. He has these little speed and feed, if you will, speed and feed charts that you can do, and you can see how the different power settings. So around 50 is when it kind of just starts to get dark. Actually, we could take that up to probably 70. Let's do that. On the gold, I'm not sure exactly what it's going to do, but let's just do 70. And then he's got that at 100 speed to give the darker mark. So let's go to 100 on the speed instead of 300. And he doesn't talk about hertz, but I'm thinking 20 hertz should give you a pretty dark mark there. But these are really good. You can just kind of do these on these business cards, and then you have them. This one is power versus speed. This one is hatch spacing versus power versus frequency. So you can play around with those. So we can hit F1 again, make sure we're good. That looks pretty good. And now I'm going to power on the laser. It's going to get loud, so we'll go ahead and press mark and see what happens. So like I said, these little business cards are really good to kind of just play around with and work on getting your settings right. Of course, I'm going to be doing mostly aluminum stuff, so that's why I bought these aluminum ones. But you can also buy some steel coupons. They sell them at welding supplies for practicing TIG welding and stuff like that. They're just little 2x3 squares of steel, and you can pick those up. You can pick those up to practice on. This is where I did the focal height on there. Just playing around with some steel coupons, or if you got any scrap metal laying around, of course, you know that's gonna work just fine. But there's only so much scrap metal laying around, so I bought those coupons. Like I said, they're really cheap, and you can just throw them up there. These little business cards, you can just throw them up there and play around with it. So that's going pretty dark right there at 70%. Probably could have backed that down on this gold to about 50 or 40% power, or maybe increase the speed a little bit. But that's what makes these little charts come in handy, because you can kind of see where you're at to kind of just get you started. And When you're on the shiny silver, it's a little bit different. It shows the contrast on the gold or the black is really nice. This is in real time, but when I edit this video from this point, I'll probably just speed it up and finish it up and get through this. Of course, you want to use this in a well-ventilated area if you're going to be doing a lot of this stuff, because it does put off, you're actually ionizing or whatever, removing material. So you can see kind of the sparks going off there, and then you can also see there's like some splatter everywhere. That's where you're actually removing the material, just vaporizing it, I guess. So I'm still kind of learning all about this. There's so much involved here with doing this. It's not very difficult. It's just a lot of stuff you have to take in. It's a little bit different than 3D printing or running G-code. It's, you know, there's a slight learning curve with this because you're dealing with vector files and bitmaps and that kind of thing. So I'm going to turn the laser off here so you can maybe hear me now. So you can kind of see it has this residue here, so I want to wipe that off. And this, of course, this cardstock's pretty thin, so you can kind of see it went through there. If I did any more power, it probably would just cut these letters out, but you can see that's nice and dark on this gold. It turned out really nice. So you can make you samples like this, and then we can put some text down here and put down our power, speed, settings, all that information right here. You can throw these cards in a bin, and you can use them for future reference when you're doing some engraving or etching on other materials. Guys, I'm going to do a series of these videos. Again, this is the Monport 20W fiber laser. It is a galvo laser. The stuff that I'm going to be doing, this is probably 3 times as large as I want to be marking. So for the most part, most of my stuff's going to be like this. So I'm not really too concerned with the power. I think this is going to be just fine. But it's a good entry level type fiber laser. Of course, you can get a CO2 laser, but you're not going to be able to really etch anything in metal. You can only really do organic stuff. So if you want to do metal, you got to have a galvo laser. Well, guys, if you're interested in one of these, you can check them out at monport.com. I'll put the link in the video description. Again, this is the 20W laser, and stop by and check them out. They did give me a slight discount on this laser. They also gave me a promotional code. So if you're interested in one of these, you can use the promotional code in the video description. Get yourself a discount. This particular model currently, as of this video, is on sale. You can already save about, I think it's $700 or $800, and with the in the video description, you can save another 6%. So if you're interested in one of these, this may be the time to pick one of them up. Guys, well, that'll wrap up this video. If you're new to my channel and you're just tuning in, you can click on that subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner. Also click on that notification bell. That way when I post a video, they'll send you a notification, and if it's something you're interested in, like this video, you can stop by and check it out. As always, guys, please feel free to ask questions, make suggestions, or leave comments. Thanks for watching the video. Thumbs up if you liked the video. Please subscribe.